Welcome to Rise of the Goddess Collective podcast. I am your host, Michele Julian, your goddess guide. And today I have Denise Costello on our podcast. And I am so excited to share with you actually how we met. We actually met through Journey Dance. Everyone that's been listening to me and following me, you know all about the Journey Dance, right? So we met through Journey Dance, through that whole program, and we actually didn't physically meet literally until probably about a year ago. And I reached out to Denise actually through Facebook Messenger because that's how I actually connect with people. And I said, Denise, you live right near me and we are both Journey Dance people. We need to get together. And of course, Denise responded back to me, oh my God, that's amazing. I was like, already I'm in love with her. Okay. She's excited. I'm excited. And she loves to connect with people and be with people and help people feel good. I mean, who doesn't want to be around somebody like that? So we got together and we went to a yoga studio, and it was in the South Shore. It was like in Weymouth. And we basically did some yoga, and then we looked upstairs and she was talking to this woman. This woman knew her, and all these other people were talking to Denise. And then she had another friend and another friend. I was like, oh my God, this woman, she's like everything and more than I would actually want to connect with. Because I mean, let's face it, the pandemic, I wasn't seeing anybody or talking to anybody for a long time. And you all know I'm an extrovert, and that does not make me happy. So meeting Denise literally has opened up a portal in a way that I never knew would unfold and shift me into a new level of vibration of healing. And I just know that you're totally going to love this story, because I know that all of you, my clients, my family, have been watching the journey and seeing me actually go through all the transitions I've gone through as a massage therapist, doing the life coaching, doing all of the things for my own self-growth. Because as a professional guide, we always need to be filling ourselves up, because we ourselves can get depleted. So with that being said, I had the accident, right here. Here's the scar.
That.
Okay. And that scar is so much better than it was before for lots of reasons. Creams that Denise recommended, CBD, and also a plan of nourishing my body in a way that actually helped my gut. Because I don't know if anyone's ever been through surgery. The first thing they love to do is give you pain medication, which then like destroys your gut. And of course I was like, Denise, they're going to give me that stuff. She's like, don't worry, I've got you. Don't worry. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do so you don't get that gut thing. And she did exactly that. We did chicken broth. She gave me teas. She gave me all kinds of menus. I mean, when you are working with Denise, she gives you more than you need, just in case, she missed something. She's extremely thorough. So you will not be disappointed working with her. And what's really cool is Denise is a registered nurse. Okay. So right there, she's all about being a caretaker. And she's also certified as a stress reduction holistic cannabis nurse. Okay. And she is so passionate about this. And you know me with the goddess codes and all of the people I interview. Most people that come on here are pretty passionate about what they do, and they practice what they preach. And she created the Energized Body, which, by the way, it's trademarked. You can't steal that name, the Energized Body, where she teaches the cutting edge of the holistic approach to achieving optimal health and happiness. And it's over 30 years of experience in the medical field. And she also worked as a veteran for the Air Force Flight Nurse Coordinator at Winchester Hospital in the Breast Cancer Center. Well, guess what? You all know, if a lot of you are my clients and you're a lot of my listeners, I went through breast cancer for the second time. And so all of these things that Denise ended up working with me first just for the surgery, she then, with the intake form, found out about all the other things. Oh, she's been through breast cancer. Oh, I need to do this for her. I got this. So she has a program where it's like way better than going to Target, but it's like going to a store and she's like, wait a minute, this tea, you're going to like this tea for nighttime. You're going to like this to wake up. Okay, this is the magic that happens with Denise. And I'm just I'm just like overly ecstatically excited about interviewing her and having her as my guest. So without further ado, Denise Costello, welcome to the Rise of the Goddess.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Like making me sound so like, wow. No, I'm so pleased to be here because I tell you, Michele was like the perfect patient because she listened and she was excited and she was open-minded, about things because we can hold on to some old thoughts and habits about how we heal and what we can use to heal what's provided for us. But I firmly believe that we all have everything that we need. We really, really do. We have, number one, our own knowing, our own knowing, our own connection, to our intuition. Maybe we need a little help developing it and paying attention to it, but it's there. And we have Mother Earth, everything right here provided for us. We don't have to go far, it is here available to us. And we have connection to God, to spirit, that is always, always there to support us. And so, I really lean into more of lifestyle, your lifestyle, how you live your lifestyle becomes your medicine. We don't need to be popping pills. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm going to be 62 in January, and I do not want to be wasting my time in the hospital or at a doctor's office or choking down meds. I want to be moving and grooving and enjoying life and, being of service to other people. And we can do that. Everything, it really is here. And just having a little bit of guidance and maybe introducing some things that seem new to us, but have been around for a long, long time, like cannabis and hemp and mushrooms and different things that are kind of bubbled up now. And we're like, oh, wow. So my whole philosophy is like,
wild, baby. It's more than wild. It's transformational.
It's transformational.
I mean, I know that this is all about you, but I just have to say,
no, you changed, man. You were like, that's what I mean. You were like my perfect my dream patient because you like took it in. I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, it's like, what else is possible for Michele? Yeah.
That's the key word. What else is possible? Instead of like, oh, I don't know, I don't know, like I don't
Yeah.
think I could do cannabis. I
Yeah.
heard that I could be this, I could be that. Oh, but I remember when I was 18, I took some hash and I passed out on the floor. That's not how it is at all, people. It's not that at all. It's really medical, and it's Denise with all of her knowledge, knowing and asking the right questions to see what it is that can work with you, right? Work with you to feel better mentally and physically. And if you're open, you can also learn how to slow down your body so your mind and your spirituality can connect with the universe, because what's out here in the universe can guide us and slow us down. And that this is why Denise is so passionate about it, because she lives this life. Okay, she is walking this life, and that's why she is so perfect to work with. If you're thinking about changing your body mentally or physically, you know me, I have the Julian method way, but this is next level vibration. That's all I have to say. So you can keep talking now.
Well, no, you hit it on the head. I think, I first even got introduced to cannabis through a hip replacement, and I was using it for pain. I wanted to use it for pain because I could not deal with opioids. They made me sick. I blew my knee out when I was in Desert Storm, and it wasn't because I was carrying patients. I did a cheerleading jump with my big boots, and I came down in the sand and like ripped my knee out. And we were packing up and getting ready to get on the plane and leave, and somebody gave me a Dilaudid or some kind of a pain medicine. I threw up the whole trip home. I was like, awful. So I was like, you know what, cannabis was legal at the time. I was like, I'm gonna give this a try, and it tremendously helped with the pain, but I discovered this whole other aspect of it. The going in and the calming and really tapping, being present with people. Like when my guests would come, I was comfortable, but I wasn't just, when you think of an opioid or medication, it's like only hitting one area and it's numbing, right? Which is okay. That's what it's supposed to do. But the plant does more than that. Yes, it blocks the pain receptors, but it also helps with your mind and anxiety and worry that you're dealing with when you're in surgery. It helps with your sleep, so you can sleep really well. It also helps you like to go in and get calm. And I found I've been a Catholic for forever, was born. And I also owned a meditation studio. So I've looked at not just traditional spirituality, but looked at it all. And I really got into the meditation and going in. The cannabis helped me to go so much deeper, where I could receive. I could really receive. And this is where it began. It began in spiritual settings. That's what it was used for way back when, right?
Yes.
And so I was like, there's a lot more to this plant, and it's not something that we have to be afraid of. Now, we do have to be cautious with it, especially today. The strains are very high in THC. So it's knowing what you're using. And it's not just THC. We have a plethora of different cannabinoids. As you found, the CBG was helpful for your gut. The CBN helps with your sleep, all of these wonderful things that this plant can provide. And we just have to know, like you said, ask the right questions, find out what's going to be beneficial to you, and how to combine it with other beautiful lifestyle practices like yoga. I'm a yoga teacher. And so inviting that in even to my yoga practice just elevated even that, you can really feel. So it's just one of the many, tools that are really nice to have. And I am here to help to educate about this, because there is a lot of stigma, there's a lot of misuse with it, and it doesn't really have to be that way. And especially for women, it's very powerful for dealing with our menopause issues, and like THCV to help with your blood sugar. They're using with diabetics now. It's non-psychoactive, it's the raw plant, and it helps with metabolism and weight. So who doesn't love that when you're in your middle age, right? We're trying so hard to, our bodies change. That's the way it's just natural. Our bodies change, and we go through menopause but we don't have to succumb to the old ways of aging.
No, we do not.
We don't. And we have so
not.
much fun doing it.
Yeah, we don't have to bear, like, you put up with hot flashes, and like it's like, oh, this is just part of getting older. I guess I'm just gonna have to take all my clothes off and run out in the snow so I can actually get cool. I mean, I really had to do that when wow, I would have loved to have known you back in the day when I was going through my basically I went through pre-menopause, menopause, and post-menopause, to the point where I would wake up completely wet, okay? And get out of the bed, put a towel down, jump in the shower, go back to the bed. And my husband, he was like snoring, not having any clue that anything happened. Okay, he's just sleeping. And I'm like doing this whole thing where I have to set up the bed, take a shower, come back, and then all of a sudden, the next morning he's like, did you change? Did you change your I'm like, I had the hot flash, and he goes, oh, that's too bad. Right? It's like, you don't have to go through that if you're working like you. I mean, you're gonna have a little bit of that, right? You're not gonna be 100%. You get 100% like no hot flashes ever. No, that's not gonna happen. The reality is you're just going to manage it.
You manage it and lessen it, because actually THC lowers your body temperature. So it's a beautiful thing for our menopausal women. And you're sleeping anyway. So if you're worried about it, like, doesn't matter.
That's good to know. Well, okay. So are there ways to get warm with using the THC and the CBD? Because it's now getting cold. We don't want to be getting cold.
Right, exactly. So I drink a lot of tea. And it really engages with your body. I do notice, like, if I am indulging, it depends on how much you have and kind of what strain and this and that. But and I'm like, so what's wrong with drinking more tea? I drink more, warm water, and you're totally fine. But you mentioned CBD. If you ever feel like you've had too much THC, having CBD helps to calm that down, like bring you down into, a calm state. So what we're doing now a lot is we combine THC and CBD together. They work really well together in more of a medicinal and just a milder way. We don't need to be blasted. We're not talking about being blasted, we're
I can sleep through the night. I can sleep through the night now. So basically, we talked about this when I came back home from Nova Scotia. I was like, okay, now I know what's possible. Let's really start looking at all the areas of my life. And we have scratched the surface. We haven't even really gotten into the next thing. There's so many things that our bodies and our minds are going through seasonally, emotionally, family-wise, children, all of it, right? So you and I met again, and you were like, oh, you really want to sleep through the night? Here we go. Here's your thing. Let's try this. Let's try that. And basically, I'm sleeping through the night. I'm having I'm going to bed at 10 and waking up between 7:30. And so that's about, it's probably
That's
about
great.
8 to 9 hours of sleep, which, we need that. I know personally for me, I need at least 7 to 8.5 hours of sleep or I'm tired. And some people can live on shorter than that. My husband actually needs and requires 10 to 12
Wow.
hours. He takes naps. And I love that he takes a nap, because then I have to be entertaining him.
Yes, you have a little break. It's like your old child went to bed. Like we loved it when our kids went to bed.
Right?
You want to get all your stuff done.
He's noticed a difference in not only my personality in a way that's positive, not like as in like, oh, what's wrong with you? I don't think you should be taking that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
It's more like, wow, I see how it's helping you. And wow, yeah, I see. It's like he said, this is, I didn't share this with you. He actually said to me, it feels like the old Michele has come back.
Oh,
okay. So the
yeah.
old Michele, I guess, was a little bit feistier, and the one that had gone through the cancers and all of that, it kind of knocked me, it kind of knocked me
Knock
down.
you down a little bit.
Yeah, because mentally and emotionally, you go through a lot going through cancer.
You do, and it can make your body feel older, more tired, right?
Yes.
So you brought your vim and vigor back. Like, like he said, I think it's really curious. He said the old Michele, like pre all of that, when you were feeling younger and more vibrant, in your stride and all of that. And so that's
and it's
wonderful.
it's even interesting, since he said that, I've been noticing it as well with various things that I used to do with my daughter. And she even noticed. She's like, Mom, she's like, this new haircut. She's like, I just can't get used to it. It's really great though, because you don't have to worry about, doing the whole blow drying thing.
Yeah.
She goes, because you hate the fact that your hair is not, like, I have very fine, flat hair. Okay. And so to have body, it's like a ton of work. It takes me 20 minutes, like, to actually make it happen. And I was like,
Yeah.
I was in Nova Scotia, and I said to my husband, I said, I'm done. I'm done with having to work so hard to have me like my hair. Like I literally was like, I'm done with that, right? And he's like, okay, what does that mean? I said, I'm gonna go get my hair. I'm gonna go get my hair cut. He's like, okay, that's good. I said, no. I'm just preparing you. I mean, I'm talking about like no hair, like potentially going bald. He goes like, that's extreme. He's like, extreme. I'm like, yeah, I know, but it's going to be short. And he's like, great. He goes, honey, I love you no matter what. He doesn't want to hear that.
What a love. I got to meet this man. He sounds fabulous.
Exactly. Your guy meets my guy. They can go off and do Zen meditation and whatever.
Right. We'll be journey dancing around and
we'll do the journey
on the table.
Exactly. So I got my hair cut, and boom, a weight was lifted. It was like next level vibration of not caring, like no more, I guess you could say, no more bullshit, right? Yeah. It was like, no more bullshit, no more like spending all these hours trying to make your hair be XYZ. You have better things to do, Michele, with your life. And that's what I decided. It was like, it's like basically like when a monk goes in and meditates and try to figure out like how to be Zen and how to like really enjoy our lives. That's what happened to me. I had this boom, like cut off the hair, and now it's like, here we are, right?
Yeah, rocking and rolling. Woo!
Woo! So tell us how we can work with you? Like, how can we work with you? My audience wants to know, because they're already like, okay, let's get to it. How can we work with this woman?
So there's a couple ways that you can work with me. We can work one-on-one. So let's just say if you're having a surgery, just like, I worked with you with your surgery, and I take more of a holistic, conscious approach to that. Because what I looked at I just had a knee replacement, and I was like, hey, wow, how am I going to handle this? How, what's this going to bring to me? What else is possibly with this surgery?
Right.
So instead of just laying in bed in recovery, blah, 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 flipping through Netflix and all that, I was like, no, I don't want to be doing that. Right. I'm going to be using my cannabis for my pain and all that, but I am also going to incorporate a lot of meditation and going deeper, because as we spoke about, the cannabis can help you to go deeper. And if you're just laying in bed, yeah, I could take a little higher dose to manage the pain and everything. And I can get into some really like vibrational type of meditations that bring the energy up to your pineal gland, where the magic can happen, and really help to rewire your brain in the sense of really getting that blood flow and everything up there, right? And so using that, for that. So I got into like using chanting, to help. So vibration, using sound vibration to help with the managing of the pain, and just really to get centered in. And really having this thing is like, what else is possible for me on the other end? I'm going to have a new knee. I haven't been able to, do a lot of things because of that knee. So how are we going to prepare for that? And what kind of things am I going to use to nourish my body, to heal itself? So I work with people who are, approaching surgery, but they want to do it a different way. They want to have it more of a holistic, more of a kind of a transformational way. And I'm there, like, I'm like your surgery doula, if you want to think about that. I'm your servant through that whole period. The other way you can work with me is I have a hybrid program called What Else is Possible Wednesdays, and where we meet on Zoom as a group. I have my method. It's like a 6 module method that brings in all of the things, right? Brings in prayer and meditation, how to create a morning practice for yourself, to start your day, how to manage the anxiety you might get hit with during the day, how to have a nutritious, eating plan, like throughout, your day. Anti-inflammatory food is where kind of my prior focus of my business was all in cooking and helping people with their nutrition as mothers, deal with their families, right? And also bringing in movement, different forms of movement. Like this, my latest thing I absolutely love is called blood flow restriction bands. And what this is it basically, as we age, we lose our human growth hormone. And that's what helps, like at the age of 20, it starts going downhill, right? By the time we are 40 or 50, we only have about 20% of it left in our body. And the only way that we can boost that human growth hormone is through high intensity workouts. Well, I don't know about you, but, as you get older and, I don't want to be spending hours in the gym. I cannot lift those big, heavy weights. It's not safe for me to do that. So what this does is it puts a little bit of light pressure around your muscles. So when you're exercising, you only have to do maybe 6 or 10 minutes of it, because the muscle's getting very fatigued. It's creating that lactic acid, which tells the body, like, we need some human growth hormone there. So your body dumps a lot of that. I am doing a 40-day program right now that's just got started, but it's going to be rolling every Wednesday at noon. I chose noon on Wednesdays because middle of the week And also at noon, we need to take care of ourselves, take a break, need to pause, and so through that, we have a group setting, right? So you have that community. I feel like there's a lot of power in people healing together. I think that's really important. Then you have one-on-one with me. So let's say, oh yeah, I do want to learn a little bit. I want to figure out, I want to dip into that plant medicine. I'm curious about, I don't sleep really well, and or maybe I've got back pain, or I've got gut issues, whatever. So then I can kind of hone in on your specific area through our one-on-one consultation that comes with this group setting. And we can kind of figure out a plan that's specific for you. And then through every week for 6 weeks, we're together on that online group. Then you get to like bring in all the other tools that all support your plan and how to do it. Because it's not just one thing. We all know that. We call this entourage effect, right? But the exercise component, why I'm excited about these bands, is because we know before you even start taking antidepressant drugs or any of that stuff, you've got to exercise. That's the body. We were created to move, and we were created, like when we exercise in these high intensities, to get the healing pieces, that are released in our body. So starting, exercise and movement and sleep, getting that good night's sleep, feeding yourself with anti-inflammatory foods, tapping in to the spirit guides that are there for you as you're struggling and you're having a tough day, or you're needing to get calm and meditate and go in. All of these things are brought together so you can kind of holistically and just naturally just feel younger, have more energy, sleep better, keeping your weight in check, and so that you can enjoy life, and not have to, spend it hanging out. So those are the main ways. I also run retreats. So there's kind of so you start with this, you've got these energized living pillars of prayer, protection, and play all coming in. And so you may enter through the online, being the group course, and then you're like, oh, you got a retreat where you're going to bring it together live, that we all get to meet, and all of these things are brought in. And so that's really awesome. We've got a retreat coming up in March in Jamaica, and where we're going to do a psilocybin journey experience with that.
Wow.
So,
that
yeah.
sounds exciting.
So that's the new kind of the introduction in the plant medicine world are psychedelics and our mushrooms. And so microdosing of those is really valuable. I've been doing a lot of speaking and helping with women that are on a lot of SSRIs that cause weight gain, loss of libido, a flatness, and they're on them for years. Mm-hmm. And a little microdose of mushroom really is doing the same thing, and you don't have all those side effects. So not that I'm against, I think for some people a short period of time, you need to regroup, but people are on them for like 10 years. And I don't know about you. I don't want to lose my libido, and I don't want to be gaining weight and feeling flat. That's no fun. This is just so much more fun, enjoyable. Why not feel good by dancing?
That's not acceptable.
Not acceptable. It's wrong. And, of course, they prescribe them to women twice as much. They may go in for a GYN problem, and, oh, yeah, you're feeling anxious. Here you go. No, there's a better way. What else is possible, right, Michele? What else is possible? Exactly. We have to keep asking that.
I love that.
Little statement can be anywhere in your day. I'm tired. What else is possible? What should I do?
Exactly.
What can I do?
Staying curious and leaning in to knowing that something is possible for you, so you can change your own paradigm, right?
Right.
that programming, the old programming, the paradigm, the patriarch of just sucking it up and dealing with XYZ, whatever that XYZ is, actually doesn't have to be anymore. And that's why you absolutely positively need to work with Denise with this opportunity, especially now she's in it. Like on Wednesdays, you can jump in and like really what this is to me is like a reset, a revival for November and December to set you up for a new routine, a new way of nourishing yourself in a way that is just all around 360. Like it takes care of all the things, the muscles, you know, the bones. It takes care of all the things you're going through as a woman, right? With menopause or whatever. And also you're going to have fun too. Like being with Denise, you're actually like have fun too while you're doing it.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm so glad that you brought that up, because this is the foundation. You know, this is my foundation program. And I did place it at this time, you know, because of the holidays coming up. You want to have your ducks in a row. You don't want to be like frazzled. You want to be able to enjoy it. You want to feel good. You want to look good in your outfits that you're wearing. And, you know, you want to be bright. You don't want to be exhausted and tired and grumpy. You know, like you want to really.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be grumpy.
Nobody wants
like,
that.
I'm gonna get grumped today. You know what I mean? Like you want to wake up like, what's possible? How can I have some joy in my life? How can I not add in too much stress into my life? Like, how can I shift that and change that? Knowing that first step, self-awareness, is to your own emotional regulation. Self-awareness, emotional regulation goes together. And that's where this is the way I see it. This is how it's been for me is the CBD. I start with that in the morning. I'll, do some at night and throughout the day. Because I have pain, I know that if I'm checking in with myself every couple hours, how much water did I drink? How much caffeine have I drank? Well, it's time for tea, no more caffeine, because now you're really in tune to what's really going on with your body, because you've changed all of it. Blood sugar regulation, energy levels, all of it.
You crave things different. Like I don't drink hardly alcohol anymore. I was a partier. I loved to cocktail and do all that. And now the cannabis and the psilocybin curb your desire for alcohol. And so I have a whole different way of recreating now, and I don't wake up with a hangover, and I don't feel miserable.
Speaking of that, do you have the B3 bands handy so you can just show people what it looks like?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
So the cool thing is they're really organized. They come in your little B3 bag. And this is so powerful because I do a lot of traveling. You're bopping around all over the place, right? And those hotel gyms are just, I wouldn't do it. I'm a yogi. I love to yoga and I love to walk, right? I am just so fine with that. I do, the gym is okay, but truthfully, I wasn't getting in there. I wasn't getting in there because it took too long. And it was my physical therapist, because I was rehabbing with my knee, who turned me on to these. And when this is all it is. It's like, you just put it around your arm or your leg and you pump it up with a little bit of air. So it just squeezes a little bit. You're not cutting off your blood. You're restricting the blood flow, reducing the oxygen, and you're just kind of fooling your body, thinking you're lifting those weights. You can do this while you're walking your dog or whatever, and you will feel like, oh, wow, I'm sweating here. I'm huffing and puffing. I'm really working my body, right? And so it's a very simple tool, all ages. If you have an elderly parent, I was just visiting. I had 90-year-old aunts and uncles I was visiting. One of them broke her hip, and the other two, were just still like living in their house. And you could tell the ones that moved in their life. My one aunt was a yogi, started in the 70s. She's still moving around. Movement is your elixir, your anti-ager. And so this, my friends, is like, it's like your golden nugget. I'm telling you, I just got started with this, and I see the results already so quickly. And I'm just excited to share it with people, because I know a lot of people just like me struggle with getting the right amount of exercise, that working to like get to that burn level, which is what, this helps you to do.
From what I read, basically, because I'm thinking about actually getting involved with the B3 bands, because for me, I'm a grandmother, right? So I have, a busy schedule with being a grandmother, and also I need to entertain my husband as well. So,
and run your goddess business.
And run my goddess business. So basically, how much time do we really have to take care of our bodies? Typically, I would just love to, for me, I would just love if I could spend 2 hours a day on self-care. Okay. If I had my brothers, I would do that, because I actually like going to the gym, and I like going to yoga classes, and I like going to Pilates classes. But the reality is I really don't have that time. Right. And so this makes total sense that I'm going to put this on and do some, bicep extensions and in all this stuff. Now look at me, like I can really move.
Yeah.
Right?
There you go. You can move
my body without being in pain now. So this is the next step of my nourishing my body, healing and strengthening it. And I see the science behind it. I did the research. I looked it up, and it said basically someone that has like heart conditions and high blood pressure, you want to get a clearance with your doctor, blah, blah, blah. That is like, that makes total sense, right? But from a standpoint of most people can use these bands, and you have your coach that comes with the bands. If you do sign up with the B3, you get your personal coach. So you're going to have that guidance, and and then Denise, she's going to be part of this whole thing. We're going to do this whole thing where we'll probably end up doing a couple of Zoom trainings and how to use it. And because that's the way Denise operates. Once she decides this is the thing, she goes all in.
Well, when it's anything that is health, promotes your health in a very safe, simple, short, things have to be simple,
simple. Keep it simple. Yes.
Gotta keep it simple. And I'll tell you, because this is so simple, I'm working out more, because before I thought it's got to take so long. Now I'm like, I got 10 minutes. I got 10 minutes on me. I can do a few of these, and that's all it takes. You're like, you're pumping.
Yes. And the thing is, I have
energy. Like my brain, it like gets the oxygen up into the brain. Like I was mid, like sometimes we can have that midday slump a little bit if we didn't get a good sleep, and the sleep is what I'm working on. I'm not really, I can stay up too late sometimes, but and one day I was just dragging. I said, oh gosh, I got 10 minutes here. So I did it, and I was just like, it was like a jolt.
It's so true. The other day I was walking outside and I kept yawning. I thought to myself, why am I yawning? I've had my coffee, I've had my water, I've had my breakfast. Why am I yawning? It's because I wasn't getting blood flow to my brain. So I was yawning, because they say that. They say yawning is because you're not getting enough blood flow to your brain. The minute I started walking and I opened the door into the gym and then I started doing my boo-boo, I started not being tired. Like I was not yawning anymore. I'm like, oh, that is so interesting. See, this is when you're in that mindset of what else is possible.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And I really
talk for hours, Denise, about
I
this. You know that, right?
know.
So
I
what I'd
know.
love to do is
Yeah.
just basically end this amazing discussion, amazing podcast, and just tell us how we can get this information. I'm going to have it in the podcast notes, but let's just, put it out there to the universe. So your website, the name of your website is?
Just Denise Costello.
Yep.
Or you can email me at dcostello50@gmail.com.
Okay.
And I offer, I have, anybody can get on a free call with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of call it my what is this possible call, like what's going on? Let's sit down. Let's see what's happening and let's see what else is possible. And so anybody can reach out to me that way. I am on Facebook and Instagram a little bit and playing a little bit in TikTok, but not so much. But I'm in the social, not every day,
So they
I would say.
basically, if they want to just reach out to you, they're going to go to your website, the energizedbody.com, and you have a contact button right there, contact us, and you just put your name, email, and a message, like what you want.
Yeah, you can get through to me right there.
Yeah. And, she is, she's based in the Boston area, but, she does a lot of, traveling. So, Zoom is fantastic to be able to stay in touch with our clients. And so just remember that, you can always just meet her on Zoom if you're not in the local area.
Right.
And I'm just so excited to be on this journey of the vibrational, energized reset into 2024. Thank you so much for joining the Rise of the Goddess Collective podcast. And this will be on YouTube. It will be on Instagram. It's going to be in all the platforms. So anybody that watches anything, they can see it on all of those social platforms. So
awesome. Well, thank you, Michele. First of all, just for being your bright soul and being open and just to that, what else is possible. Like really, just, I don't know, you just brought me so much joy just to see how well you just embraced and how much growth you had. And oh, I love it. So
I'm thanking you. It's like exactly what our friend, it's like what our friend said. No, I'm thanking you. No, I'm thanking you. No, I'm talking you. No, I'm thanking you. No, it's you. I love you. You love me. Oh my God, this is too much fun. So remember, everyone, your activation is our activation. Bye for now.